Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the dumbbell floor press with a pronated grip. This is a great exercise for your chest and especially helpful for beginners to get the form down with the most stability you can possibly have, which is the ground. At the end of the video, we're going to be talking about some of the common mistakes, so make sure to stick around for that with demonstrations. And so here's how we're going to get started. First, you just want to get a mat, lay down on the mat, knees bent, make sure your lower back is flat, and make sure that your elbows come out to the sides as you're pressing up. Another key thing to make sure that you're doing is keeping the forearm perpendicular to the ground, meaning that you want to bring this down to around lower chest or nipple level. You don't want to bring it any higher than that, or you're going to start to develop some shoulder pain, and then make sure you come all the way up to the top of the full extension. But before we continue with more tips, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
Now, the key thing is elbow position, like I was talking about before. You want to make sure that your elbows are coming down, I would say somewhere within like a 45-degree angle from your side. Basically, if I had to explain it in a simpler term, is you want to make sure that if you look to the side that your elbow's not right next to your shoulder. It should be a little bit more tucked in. Just go a couple inches under and you'll pretty much be good. And that's what's going to end up happening with most pronated hand positions. Your elbows are going to come out, which is completely fine. It's just you never really want your elbows to be right next to your shoulder when you're doing any pressing movements, because that really compromising your pressing position. It also makes it hard for your rotator cuff, so I recommend that you just keep it a little bit lower than that. Another key thing you want to make sure you're doing is keeping your core tight, because if you start to loosen your core, which you don't really need that much stability, but you want to get into the habit of engaging your core so that when you do other lifts, that it starts to incorporate a lot easier without you having to think about it so much. Another thing that I want you guys to focus on is making sure that you keep the weight over your chest. So yes, you want to start around lower chest or nipple level when you're pressing, but you also want to make sure that you're coming to that full extension at the top, and that you don't limit the range of motion, as it's already limited because your elbows are hitting the ground. So fully extend over the chest, not over your chin, not over your stomach, over your chest. Just literally think about going straight up. Another key thing is you want to make sure that when you go down that your elbows basically form a 90-degree angle or somewhere close to that. You don't want to be bending the dumbbells upward to where the dumbbell is actually touching your chest. It should not be touching your chest. If it is, that means you're bending your elbows too much. So here's some common mistakes. I'm going to go over the ones we just touched on now with demonstrations. So limited range of motion, obviously this is not going to do anything for you. You're wasting your time if you do that. Don't do half reps at the bottom and don't do half reps at the top. Just go all the way down, slightly touch the floor, and then go back up. And like I said, don't bring the dumbbells down to your chin. You want it over your chest. And you definitely don't want it over your stomach either. You want to make sure that it's right over the chest. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you're not excessively bending the elbows like this. You basically want your elbows at a 90-degree angle.